So let's start right away today without a super exciting and dynamic intro. It's actually obvious to us. Creativity arises from what we have seen, what we see, what we have experienced, and what has shaped us and what we are currently experiencing and going through. Creativity arises from problem solving and external influences. Many things can inspire us. For example, the world creates games like Lego Fortnite because someone was creative and had an idea that they really wanted to realize. Cars were created that way. And yes, everything we see nowadays, everything we produce is a result of creativity. When I walk through the streets here in Spain, I see a lot of inspiration, especially when it comes to building buildings. People build differently here. More rustic, simpler, no complex buildings adapted to the climate. Then there are those buildings that are immense, where it took years to build them, sometimes even centuries, and all out of a desire to create something, to realize an idea, and mankind can now admire it. I have always realized that I get creative from certain things. A lot of art often comes out of hard times. The desire to change the world, the desire to express one's own feelings, or simply the desire to put something into the world. Not necessarily with the aim of creating something, it just has to come out. Creativity often arises from lack and rarely from excess. Time. When you have time to absorb what you're experiencing, when you simply sit and observe life, listening to it and watching life pass you by, or when you walk enthusiastically through the streets and sometimes stop until a certain situation or event arises. Traveling is pure inspiration for me. Observing other cultures and interacting with them, experiencing adventures, living through the new challenges, being awake, to look, to observe. In our everyday lives, we often forget how beautiful our lives are, how beautiful the sunsets are, or how beautiful the place is where we live. We should try to break out of these daily routines from time to time and travel, even in our own home, in our own country. Impressions and inspiration from others. Sure, often something new comes from copying something. Just to try to copy it or to rebuild it is a challenge itself, is something creative. Trying out whether you can do it yourself and then perhaps do it maybe differently. We only develop artistically through exchange, just like you watch the videos to get the impressions or even inspiration. I've done the same. That's part of life and creativity. You can learn a lot from children, in particular when it comes to creativity and imagination. They are absolutely role models. And we need inspiration to evolve and to express our creativity. Learning, of course. The desire to know and then to develop and improve your skills creates something new. Creates mastery and joy because you simply get closer to the goal and the ability to realize exactly what you imagine. I'm sure there are a lot of other things where you can inspire by, but I just thought about them, and maybe you get an idea and hint or something inspirational from this video or from what I just talked about. And yeah, And now let's come to my church. It inspired by the place where I live. Of course, I made the new Lego Fortnite car, which I built myself. There will be more cars. For example, ones where the engine is maybe in the back. Anyway, the town I live in, we have a little fortress with a big church. We have a view of it from our bedroom. And that's exactly the building I wanted to create or recreate. Not one-to-one, but the way I like it is the best in the end. I took what I saw and recreated it, changed some stuff, and so it isn't a copy, it's like not an improvement, it's something else. I furnished it relatively well and built a small hut in the back. It turned out really great. I hope you like it too. I also had to build a garage for my cars at the bottom of the mountain because the cars can't get up to the mountain without the jets or the thrusters, unfortunately, but it's a lot of fun to drive through the fields. Nevertheless, the cars are really fun. I hope you like what I've built, and I'm always open for feedback and ideas. I know there's still a lot of changes I could make, or a empty room I can fill with stuff. But it's a work in progress as always. And as they always say on YouTube, like and subscribe, and see you next time.